Welcome everyone to the Real Whovians cast. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Connor Farley. What's up, Connor?
God damn, we're on StreamYard. This is my first time, and I got to be honest, it is a lot better format than Google Hangouts and even Zoom, to be honest. So
I agree.
Send in your questions, and I'll try to answer them as best as possible in a non-sarcastic, non-arrogant, non-dickish way.
Okay, so yeah, Connor reached out to me on Facebook saying that he got some spoilers for Doctor Who upcoming episode. So what's going on with that?
Well, this is not just any episode. This is probably like the finale.
Okay.
TV Line, who are not known to break spoilers, really. They're more kind of like a Radio Times sort of thing, where they like list, the latest news or the latest TV listings, basically.
Right.
Reported from an industry source, a very vague. They didn't actually even name the show, but I have reason to believe, because of the wording of the actual spoiler, that this is Doctor Who. They revealed a massive, massive spoiler that is probably actually the biggest twist of Series 12 to come.
Really?
Yeah, and the following spoiler is a popular hour-long drama will give viewers even more to love in the near future by casting its leading lady in a second role. One she'll be playing opposite herself. In addition, fans of this iconic TV character may also get a welcome sense of deja vu from this time-bending twist. Now, what makes me think it's Doctor Who is that leading lady in a second role and iconic TV character. Doctor Who is the one really that has the only female leading lady iconic character at the moment. So, and it's obviously an hour long, so I have reason to believe that is Doctor Who.
Now, they said people will love this. Why will they love this?
I'm not certain. I think most people, the casuals, will kind of find it quite interesting and might love it. The hardcore fans, depending on which way this twist goes, and I believe that this is to do with the Timeless Child, could potentially fuck a lot of stuff up and piss a lot of people off, which it always does. That's like part of the territory,
right?
So I guess if that does pan out as said there by TV Line, it'd be interesting to see what the response to that is, because obviously this is not the first time that the actor has been cast as a second role opposite himself, because obviously Patrick Troughton had the same scenario in Enemy of the World, where he played Salamander alongside the second incarnation of the Doctor.
So technically, Jodie may be playing the villain?
Yeah. I have in the back of my mind like a renegade Time Lord.
Wait a minute. So in other words...
Maybe a renegade version of the Doctor.
So they're not going to make it like this Jodie is the first Doctor. Like, in other words, this Jodie is before the first Doctor.
I'm still believing, partially, that rumor about the Jadoon episode with that Ruth character.
Is that real? I thought that was just from some organization talking about the Ruth character. Is that real?
I'm believing that might be real.
So in other words, if they revealed that the Doctor was really this Ruth character, then the show is over, because it's not Doctor Who anymore; it's Ruth. I mean, I'm being honest here.
No, I know. It just sounds funny to think Ruth Who.
I mean, it's not even Ruth Who, just Ruth. I mean, like...
It's a stupid name for Time Lord as well, Ruth. I mean, Jesus Christ.
So, if fans are going to love this, Why would they love that? If it doesn't sound like I like it.
I don't know. It's they have to say really that they hope that people will like it because they don't want to make it sound like it's going to be
so
too.
It's gonna be a cliffhanger leading into the Dalek special.
No, it's probably gonna be what the storyline of the finale is. Her against herself.
So, okay, let's just create this nightmare scenario that the 13th Doctor defeats Ruth. And then Ruth has to regenerate, and she regenerates into the first Doctor.
No, I think the rumor was that it's a whole new timeline before the first Doctor, so Hartnell's incarnation doesn't come into it.
Wait, a new timeline?
Yeah, almost, yeah, like 13 incarnations, and apparently they're all women. They're all women doctors.
So in other words, there are 13 women doctors, and the first woman doctor is Jodie Whittaker's, like Ruth. And
no, Jodie's not playing Ruth. Ruth is another.
Okay, but Jodie's playing another character.
Yeah, she's playing. It's complicated.
Okay, so there's gonna be two. It's not gonna be two 13 doctors, right?
There'll be two. There might be two 13 doctors, but Ruth isn't the 13th Doctor. Ruth is the first incarnation of a previous.
Okay, so we could see the end of the 13th Doctor's adventures with the earlier version of herself, and they could do a sort of like when Matt Smith got zapped by the Dalek, a future, right? And Matt Smith's holding himself, and then he goes into the Pandorica. So we could see that Jodie, like the 13th Doctor, gets shot, and Series 12's Jodie Whittaker's Doctor is like, oh my God, witnessing her future death at the hands of this Ruth character.
I think that'd be too complicated.
I'm just kind of confused now. All right, so in other words, this Ruth character is from ancient Time Lords?
Think of it this way, right? Capaldi is the first in the second cycle of regenerations for the Doctor, right?
Right.
Ruth is the first of the one pre-Hartnell. So she's technically had 3 cycles.
And she didn't even know it?
And she didn't even know it, or she forgot it, or something. There was 13 incarnations of the Doctor that were all women pre-Hartnell. So by the time we got to Hartnell, the Doctor had already been through a cycle of all women. And
did not have any memories.
Did not have any memories.
Anything. So what memories did he have?
Unless he did, but then, Chibnall's going to try and explain it as well, but it was a secret that he had.
You really think they're going to do this?
I wouldn't put it.
I can't believe they would do this.
I would not put it past them.
There's no way this is happening.
If it's not happening, I'll be perfectly happy with it. Because
listen, I honestly think somebody that will step in, like they stepped in with Russell T. Davies, and they said, no, you can't say the woman is the Doctor's mother. That person who has that power over Doctor Who exists. And that person steps in every now and then when a showrunner goes too far. This is not a mythical person. This person has say to reject a showrunner when it concerns the history of Doctor Who. So this person will definitely step in and not allow this to happen. There's no way this is happening. Can't be.
It'll be interesting to see where it goes. Like, obviously, I don't know whether it happens or not. I believe that it might happen because that Ruth character is part of that episode, and it just seems a bit odd.
So now this person that had say with Doctor Who's dead, is that what you're saying? Maybe
dead.
There's no.
I'm not saying dead, but
there's no way. There's no way this is happening. Can't be. They're not gonna. Why would they not? They wouldn't allow Russell T. Davies to say the woman at the end of time that was holding a face was the Doctor's mother. He said, in his eyes, the way he made it, she's his mother. and that when he saw her, that she's supposed to be dead, and she's mucking up behind the scenes doing whatever, that was sort of a hope that, oh, if my mom survived, then anything's possible. I can survive too and change the future and like, all right, stop wrestling or whatever. But then someone stepped in and be like, no, you can't say that's the doctor's mother. And Russell Davis is like, okay. But like, who the hell is that person? Where is that person? And why would they not allow that, but they will allow this, like this whole cycle of regenerations? Why would they allow that if they're so safeguarding the history of Doctor Who, where they don't deviate to be too bad? Like,
Well,
you got the impression that Moffat was going to reveal the name too, and he got stopped also with the whole name of the Doctor crap. Like, and it looked like he was going to reveal something too, and he got kind of stopped. So
maybe they're not as protective over it anymore as they used to be.
What?
Maybe they're not as protective over it anymore as they used to be.
What would make them not protective over it? Money?
Falling interest, falling ratings, all sorts of stuff.
But I understand the ratings are dropping, but don't you think this will cancel the show?
It certainly complicate matters.
This will cancel the show, though.
Well, it definitely divide the fan base.
The fan base is already divided.
Oh well, yeah, it divided again.
Like, even more now.
Yeah, it divided times 3.
So the people that were war with each other, the Whovians before, the ones that approved of Jodie, and the ones that don't. Now there's going to be a third faction of people who are who maybe support Jodie but are against this, or maybe who are against Jodie's. But so there's going to be 4 factions then.
I think it will pan out the way that like the Gallifrey thing did, where not a lot of people, a lot of people were against the Gallifrey, the way that Gallifrey was handled in Moffat's era.
Oh, Hellbent?
Well, not just that, like from Day of the Doctor onwards, where...
Well, I wasn't. First of all, I got to tell you, I was not happy at all that there was a doctor in between, like, the War Doctor. I was pissed. Because my thing was, and I think you remember me talking about this, this was an excuse to... It kind of took away from the Valeyard, meaning that on a whim, the Doctor could regenerate and say, I don't feel like being the Doctor today. And then you got an incarnation running around that's not the Doctor. Like, so if the Doctor regenerates 500 times, this could be like 25 doctors that just don't feel like being the Doctor. So they just do whatever. Like, I don't believe that I like the mystique of there is one incarnation of the Doctor that turns evil. Not like there's a million different doctors and they don't feel like being the Doctor today.
Well,
like,
not even that. Bringing back Gallifrey, the way that they did disrespected, in my opinion, even though I did like that storyline, disrespected the Ninth Doctor, because the whole Ninth Doctor's era and personality and the way he conducted himself was based off the fact that he was angry,
right,
and pissed off about the time war.
Right. But they know his memory was erased because he interacting with himself. He can't remember that. So, in other words, everything wasn't intact. He was still pissed as the Ninth Doctor, right?
Yeah.
10th Doctor was still upset. The 11th Doctor was still upset. But it was basically a lie because then nothing happened.
It still just sort of cheapens the emotional weight.
Well, a lot of people was pissed that Moffat saved Gallifrey like that because it undid Russell T Davis's whole thing.
Yeah.
And if he had his way, he was going to ruin the Ninth Doctor totally. So thank God that didn't happen. But I still said that one event like shifted Doctor Who, where people were kind of against each other because that screws. Every time somebody talks about the Doctor, they're getting the number wrong. Even Matt Smith was on things calling Jodie's Doctor the 14th Doctor. Like, totally getting confused about it.
Yeah.
to me, and I honestly feel today. I mean, we're going off topic, but still, I will talk about that another time. But anyway, I just can't fathom a whole incarnation, a whole like slew of doctors that are female actually helping the show. I think it would destroy the show. And how could she not remember? So in other words, this screws everything up because then the doctor is not like 2000 and some odd years old. The doctor could be like 5,000 years old.
It's possible, yeah.
That's crazy.
The thing about Doctor Who that kind of works for it and works against it is that because it's such a long running show and it's got a lot of continuity and a lot of history, a lot of story, backstory to it. Every showrunner, it's their show, so they can do whatever they want with it. So,
yeah, but they shouldn't be allowed to do stuff that's going to cause permanent change.
Inevitably, in the future, maybe even the very near future in this case, you're going to get to a point where the backstory of the show now gets so convoluted that it is really difficult to follow. And I think that that's the point that we're reaching.
It is getting that way because, again, they're not tying things up the way it should be done. They're not, like, before you would have a historian, someone that knew every single episode of Doctor Who, be on set and saying, you can't do that because the doctor went here at this time, right? Now you don't have that. So when they do in these stories, they're contradicting stuff that already happened, because they're doing the lazy way, right? So Chibnall doesn't have, like, I guess obviously Chibnall didn't watch Hellbent or any of the Capaldi's episodes for that matter, because if he did, he would realize that the whole Missy arc was that I know Gallifrey escaped the pocket universe. Do you want to know where the coordinates are? And she gave him the wrong coordinates, and then he was mad, and then he finally found Gallifrey. They're out of the pocket universe. So that's a huge mistake that is so embarrassing. It's ridiculous because they already established. They already established in Data Doctor that if they were to go into the pocket universe, they would have to find a way to get out, because if they're in there too long, they will have nothing. They will be destroyed. There's no sense of like food, different things. Like they have to get out of there, right? So that was the mission. Once it was a temporary fix. Once they got in there, they would have to find a way to get out. And they tried to get out. They tried to contact the doctor, and they said the only way we can get out of Gallifrey is we got to reach the right doctor in the right course of time by asking his name in time of the doctor. Now, they didn't it was a thing where if they got out, the Daleks would attack them. Basically, Clara talked to them, and they're like, all right, this is the doctor. He's going to die. We can't have the Daleks kill a doctor, even though we can't stand the doctor. So here's regenerations, and here's a little extra oomph to destroy the ships and the whole damn planet, basically. So, they helped him out, but they didn't escape then, and then it was alluded that Missy took technology from Gallifrey. They escaped the pocket universe already. She was aware of this. She went there. And then we did find out, yes, they are at the end of the universe, give or take a star system, at the end of time, where nobody could travel that far unless you're a time traveler. And even if you were a time traveler, you won't even know they're there. So that's what Hellbent was. They got out of the pocket universe. They traveled through time, and they made a deal with the Shilda to get the doctor. And this came the whole hybrid thing, which now that they escaped the pocket universe, they don't want Gallifrey to be destroyed because of the hybrid, because they're out already. So now it's a thing where Chibnall did not follow this. So now, like, just because he made a mistake in saying that they're in the pocket, they don't go back. And once you're out of the pocket universe, you don't go back. They don't want to be in there. So why would they be in there? And the fact that it's destroyed doesn't make any sense. Because how could the Master be that powerful to kill a civilization that could constantly regenerate, that constantly has TARDISes, how could he be able to kill every single Time Lord on that planet without, I don't know how many escaping, regenerating, or using TARDISes to get out of it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a little bit ridiculous. And don't tell me like he made a giant tissue compression thing or a laser sonic or something to kill them all. And if he did kill them all, they were all not on Gallifrey. Rassilon and the High Council were kicked off. So they were at the end of time somewhere else. So Rassilon is definitely alive, and the whole entire High Council is alive.
I think,
but if,
my personal opinion is that I think, and I've said this since Spyfall, that Omega and Rassilon will be in the series in some capacity.
well, Omega has to have been helping them since the Time War. That's like I said, when the Time War was going down, they were like, well, let's need anybody that could help us, let's go. And
I did see quite a nice theory that I hope happens, because it would nicely explain Omega's story, is that he knew about this secret that the Time Lord, the ancient founding fathers of the Time Lords have, and he didn't approve of it. So Rassilon, etc., banished him to the antimatter universe, as we see him in the Three Doctors. And
well, it wasn't that he was banished. The time travel experiment caused him to, while time travel was established because of the accident, it sent him to the antimatter universe. So it wasn't like he was
banished there.
No, he was developing the time, unless of course Rassilon messed up the calculations and he got sent to the antimatter universe, and Rassilon reaped the rewards of time travel, where he made all of them Time Lords. And I'm going to take credit for this, or I'm going to be whatever. And you created it, but you died. You're away.
Well, the other theory that goes kind of like that I've seen doing the rounds a bit is that the Timeless Child is a child that the Time Lords took captive and tortured, basically, and took the powers from to regenerate, and took it for themselves and claimed it as their own.
And they killed the Timeless Child.
And then I assume killed the child. Yeah.
But they took the ability.
Yeah, they took the ability to. So the regeneration is not inherent in the Time Lords from the very beginning. It's sort of something that they stole, which again kind of like feeds into them, because the Time Lords have always been portrayed as like these big noble men, but I think there's also like a really kind of like dark and evil streak to them. They've got really mysterious sort of motivations sometimes for stuff. And I think that it would play into the Time Lords being kind of like this quite evil and corrupt force. We
got to say hi to I Am Sutek. Hello.
Hello,
we have everything on the side.
Who's that? That's Randy.
Randy?
Yeah, Randy. He's been on the show before. You might.
Okay. He appeared once, right?
Yeah, he appeared once, yeah.
Okay. Hey, Randy.
Wow. Yeah, so I think they're going to kind of maybe twist the Time Lords into not the enemies of the show, as opposed to like the Daleks, but.
But what are they going to make it that the child is innocent and everything, or they make it the child was like a monster?
I think the lie will be is that they made this child out to be a monster, but it wasn't, and it was actually an innocent child.
And they're going to make it that the Time Lords killed the child.
Well, at the very least, the theory or the rumor was stated that they, at the very least, tortured the child.
Wow.
Which is just as bad.
Which the child could keep regenerating, though.
Yeah, but then maybe they stole the ability from the child, and the child died.
The child was. Wow, that's disgusting. That's very dark, though.
It would be very dark, yeah.
And the doctor would not want to be called the Time Lord anymore, if that's the case.
Yeah, exactly. It would ruin, and that could also explain why the Master thought, you know what, that's fucked. And
I'm a Time Lord. I don't want to be called Time Lord anymore for that.
Yeah, and that's why he reacted the way that he did. Maybe that's also why in his childhood he went against all the Time Lord principles and stuff and became an enemy of the Time Lords.
Well, he didn't know this when he was a child, but he.
But what's to say that Chibnall doesn't write it the way to imply that he did?
So in other words, the master is the hero?
It would give the master a definite way of explaining why he ended up the way.
I mean, if they did something where the master freed the timeless child and they punished the master by making him look into the untempered schism, that would be cool. That he did an heroic act that you never even knew about. But then he had his mind where he couldn't remember that event, you know?
Yeah, it's certainly. I am interested.
Oh, Randy said he's never appeared.
He did. He appeared once. He appeared with me, Philip, Beef, and Elijah a couple of months ago. I remember.
Hey, what's up, Warrior?
Yeah, I think that it's interesting. Spyfall Part 2, while I know it's kind of like Moffat-esque, where it's really complicated,
right?
Set up a lot of interesting things.
Yeah. Especially, like, I mean, it revisited that the future can be altered constantly. Well, that was established in Orphan 55. That, you know, like just like the first series, that the Daleks altered human history.
Did you like Orphan 55?
I did.
Really?
Yeah.
I hated it.
I don't understand why everybody hates it, though.
Because it's preachy for a start. Like the speech at the end was awful.
I mean, look, why does anybody count that as a speech? He's just talking to them. It's not like a goddamn speech.
Well, I think for me that it's a matter of the point was made in the story. You didn't need to have that speech at the end to explain what had happened because it was pretty obvious what had already happened.
See, my thing is, here's why I liked it. I said this in a live stream already, but it's sort of like H.G. Wells' story when he goes into the far future and they're like the Morlocks, right? They're all like creatures.
Yeah.
Human race. It's like kind of like that. The woman was not superior. She wasn't like, she was an asshole. She fucking was money hungry, where she said, "Screw my kid and my husband. I'm want this career. I want to be rich. I don't care where they're at." She left them. Yes, she sent money home, but she basically didn't care about anyone, with the, like, in a sense where she wanted to make money. So she knew this planet was the way it was. She bought it dirt cheap or whatever. She was trying to terraform it, trying to make the spa, use the money from the tranquility spa to take over the whole planet, terraform it, be completely super rich. So she was a greedy bitch, and she was a real asshole. So the fact that they actually made a woman a villain and fucking stupid was, oh my God, this isn't woke. This isn't SJW. Now, I like the fact that I said, one, at first we thought it was off-world. So you know, anytime something's off-world, I'm happy about that, right? It's not on Earth. I'm happy about that. Two, the companions just left her to do their own thing, and she had to be by herself. So she had to head down, I guess, a look around. I like when there's character development with the companions with her. Like I told you, I liked the thing in the TARDIS, that they had that little dialogue or whatever, and then they were zapped out. I like the fact that Ryan screwed up and almost died, and thank God the doctor had to step in and save him. I like the jealousy of Yaz. I like that Ryan, that woman Bella, could have been a frigging companion.
I said exactly the same.
And I said, like, the doctor told him, she's like, "Who the hell are you? Like, why the fuck would I listen to you?" That is perfect, because you have someone that's not a yes man or yes woman and questions authority, but yet is needed because of her strengths to be a companion. They missed the boat on that. And I was pissed that she, you know, so I agreed with Bella. I agreed with, that was a cool thing that was the mother. I'm like, oh shit, okay. I like that Yaz screwed up and interfered in the couple and the guy proposing to the wife. You know, it's kind of true. People don't realize they're so into their own shit. They don't realize their actions could affect someone else in a big way. You know, and her just stepping in, like talking like, you don't know what the hell they're about to do. So I like that. I like the villains. Well, they called the Dreads, right? Or the Dregs?
The Dregs. Yeah.
Well, it goes back to the dreads of society saying. Dreads of society, drex, whatever. It's the same thing. So this was sort of, they tried to do their, I was talking to someone earlier about this. They tried to do their Planet of the Apes moments, which if you saw the original Planet of the Apes, they're going across the beach on horseback and they find out, oh shit, that's the Statue of Liberty buried in the fucking sand. This is Earth. You fucked up the Earth. I'm on Earth. I'm in the future, right?
Yeah.
They tried to do that, but it kind of fell flat. Because right away I saw the writing. I'm like, that's Russian. Isn't that Russian writing? Right. Thank you. Dreads of Society. Yes. Thank you, Randy. So, I enjoyed it, but the only thing I had a problem with is I'm like, well, they went back to the TARDIS, right? Why can't she just go with the TARDIS there and save them? I was questioning that. I'm like, the Doctor used the TARDIS to travel to Madame de Pompadour when he was like, all right, I'm going to get my TARDIS now. I'm going to come to you, right? But she was already dead, right? Why didn't she just get in the TARDIS, like use the coordinates and go save them? Like, why would you just, all right, they're there, goodbye. They're about to be killed, right? And I know she says, oh, the future could change. So technically, Bella could never be born. The whole thing could be changed, right? But if that's the case, and you don't want to pick someone up from the future, the Doctor used to have a future companion, if you remember. So that was with Jane, remember?
Yeah.
So like, why wouldn't the Doctor go save them? So I loved the episode because I didn't have any problems with it, right? It was different. I don't get where people have pure fucking hatred for this episode. Like, the Doctor being arrogant and confident and then getting choked out. It didn't matter that she was a female, it was just her being the Doctor, right? I thought that was great. She got literally choked in the air and her feet a dangling.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah. Right. That's a typical, like, Patrick Troughton running into trouble and getting choked out. Or, like, you know what I'm saying? Or, like, Colin Baker or somebody, like, oh, shit, now there's a cyber leader and put a gun in my face or something, right? Typical, the Doctor just, So I enjoyed the episode. I had no problem with the episode. I thought that everything in the episode flowed the way it did. They had death. There wasn't no, altering things like, oh, they died, but I'm going to fix the day and they're alive again. No. The Doctor didn't have all the answers. It was like Caves of Ajazani. The Doctor really wasn't successful. I mean, they escaped and that was it. So it was kind of like the Doctor failed, really.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it because I thought that was different. I thought, okay, Jodie's Doctor fucked up, kind of like she didn't really have all the answers, and they saved her ass by zapping her out of it. So I thought this had a nuance, that this was different. I didn't compare it to other episodes. And we've seen plenty of times that the Earth blew up in the future, or the sun blew up, or different, the Earth is fucked up. And didn't we see, like, in Tom Baker's episodes? The Earth was, like, uninhabitable. They thought it was uninhabitable, and there was, like, all kinds of shit in there. So why would this episode be taboo? If they already established at some point in time the Earth is fucked up. Like, why would that be? What would be wrong with that? It's not that they're shitting on history. They're kind of like honoring history. Like, oh yeah, like, Ark in space, right? They're going to repopulate the Earth when the Earth is fucking, right? Or wrong. So, like, the Earth's not going to always be 100% healthy, no matter what you do. So, why is people pissed about it? And, okay, I understand that she used the excuse global warming and shit. If she didn't say any of that shit and just said it happens, it would have been better. But by you saying it's because of this, which she really didn't know, by the way, other than she mind melded with the creature, like, by saying that got too political and crazy, right? And I think that's what people didn't like. But I didn't have a problem with this episode. The guy having an ego with his kid, he loved his kid. He was just being a douche, right? I didn't have a problem with that. The only thing is that Yaz did try to save the day with the hose and everything. She wasn't like she didn't have nothing to do. but I still want a Yaz-centric story arc.
I think you'll get that with the Jadoon, because the Jadoon are police, she's police, so it's kind of like
That's what I figured. But again, I don't know why people hate this episode. In fact, some people are going as far as saying it's the worst Doctor Who episode they've ever seen. I think they've never seen Love and Monsters or like Sleep No More.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. People are just trying to make it that it's that bad. And I think sometimes when people hate on something so much that if they do enjoy an episode, they don't see it because the hatred consumes them. And I think people just want to hate the episode. Just
I think part of it is that Spyfall was a great two-part to start a series with.
Well, I don't agree. Here's the thing. I thought Spyfall 1 was excellent.
Yeah.
But if the Master did not appear in Spyfall, it would have fell flat. It was slow at first, and I did say it was slow. And then it got better, right? But 2 was a fucking jumbled mess in my eyes. It's too like fucking gobbly fucking banter, blah 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 blah, throwing everything at us like it was too much. Like the fact that they copied off of Curse of the Fatal Death was ridiculous. And if anybody doesn't know what I'm fucking talking about, come on. Clearly, the Master being a prisoner for decades or centuries or whatever is like when the Master kept getting trapped with the Architect and the whole thing and getting older and older and older. That's a copy. The fact that the Master just didn't zap them with the tissue compression thing while he freed himself and he's finally there, that didn't make sense either. Like, you know, you tried to kill him on the plane, it didn't work. Why wouldn't the first aspect be to kill the companions? You know? So, like, I just, and the fact that he left his browsing history open on his TARDIS, where the Doctor saw his whole plan and just worked out a way to stop him, that's pretty stupid, you know? So, I don't believe the Master. I don't think he killed anybody. I think he's so insane, he thinks maybe he did. But I think that they outsmarted him and he didn't kill anybody. Honestly. I think something happened to him that created some type of frenzy with him. Like maybe this incarnation is not completely like, it's sort of like they said that Colin Baker's incarnation was messed up or whatever, right? I think this incarnation of the Master, something's wrong, and he's like his emotions are erratic at times. He can't control them. Like he doesn't have the drumming anymore, which we get that, right? Which that was making him insane, you know, but something is just making where he can be completely calm and have a damn conversation on the Eiffel Tower, but then he can be completely screaming his head off. Like it's like he's bipolar, like this incarnation, like totally. Which that unstable emotions is what makes him get defeated. That's his flaw. That he gets too wrapped up and angry that he fucking starts acting stupid, and bad shit happens to the Master. So, like he's all calm in the fucking hologram talking to her, like he's calm and collected, and then he's fucking like erratic, screaming at her, and it's like. So I think like the Master's bipolar now in this incarnation, but
well, the Master's always kind of been not bipolar, but psychotic. Like,
we know that they're insane, or they're psychotic, or they're whatever. Like, I mean, Missy, when she saw that the Doctor wanted Osgood to be a companion, she killed her, right? Which I still believe to this day that was a Zygon. That's why she said you smell. But you know, the Master kills people. You know, Missy killed people. So like, but
Sim was the most insane.
Well, that's because of the drums. But if you remember when that was out of his head and he was cured, look how good he was in the World Enough in Time and the Doctor Falls. He kind of kicked their ass because he was calm, he was collected, right?
But I still think in World Enough in Time he was still more insane than Missy.
He was like a calm insane. Like it wasn't like with the drums constantly in his head. I thought it was more mature insanity in a way. He was insane, but he was more, hey, Yvette, how are you? So, but anyway, this whole time, see, I think this whole timeless child thing is a mistake. As a showrunner, you want to leave your mark, you want to do something, you want to boost the ratings, right? But Chibnall has been going at this series wrong from the very beginning. I understand the first. I mean, you can tell me if I'm wrong, Connor. Step in at any time. Like series 11 was he pampered the 13th Doctor. He didn't throw everything at the 13th Doctor. She had no villains.
Yeah, she had no threat. She was untouchable.
It was terrible. It was like we can't throw everything at her because she's a woman. Like as much as he's making like women superior, he didn't want her to go up against anything yet. And then he did a whole 180, and the next thing you know, she's fighting classic villains, the Master, and the Cybermen to come, the Jejun, right?
Yeah.
But like, even though we got a difference, this is still not. The show is still not where it needs to be.
Yeah, I think it's getting there, and it's nearly there with like the threat and the stakes factor of it. What's not there is the characterization of the Doctor is very, very, very weak. Furthermore, Tosin Cole cannot act. Act. Mandip Gill can, but is given very little to do on a consistent basis.
Correct.
And Bradley Walsh is very good.
Yeah. Now explain that to me too, because I don't understand this. How is it that all the tabloids made it that he was seriously injured? He broke bones in his back. He broke his back. If he broke his back, how could he be walking around?
I didn't even hear about this.
Bradley Walsh.
He broke his
fell
back.
off. Yeah, he was filming with his son. They had the cameras on him. He fell off a bull or something, and they said he broke his back. He broke his bones, and they said he walked it off, and he's recovering. But like, if you break your back, you ain't walk. Like, how the hell was that?
I mean, it could depend where he broke his back, but
wouldn't he need to recover? Like, that's a little bit ridiculous.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I have no idea I have no idea really.
All right, I'm gonna send this to you, okay? And just look at this quickly while I'm talking, because this was all over the place.
Unless because obviously he was filming it was a while ago and he has managed to recover.
No, this was recent, like,
Well, I don't.
What I understand.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know.
Just look at the article. I'm gonna send it from that company. I'm gonna send it from this one. I mean, it's real. It's not fake. I mean, originally I titled it serious injury because that's what everybody else said it was, but then we learned it wasn't serious injury, so I changed the title. But
it maybe just where he broke his back wasn't as crucial to him, walking or whatever, or it didn't cripple him.
Right. So I guess he's just, I mean, it's all over the place. This is, everybody's doing a story on it. It's like, there's a lot of...
It says here, Walsh said his injury sounds a bit more severe than it actually is. So even he doesn't think it's that severe.
Right.
Yeah, he fell slightly wrong. It seems here like he did injure his back, and he probably broke it in a place or two.
But he's just, I guess he has to heal.
He managed to recover in the time between filming and now.
Right. Okay. All right. All right. So here's the thing. I want to get back to series 12. So in other words, I feel, regardless of what we see in series 12, that this is really series 11, but with monsters, right? But it's not there yet.
Yeah. I mean, we've only seen
the food is not cooked yet properly. It's not done, and I feel that it will not be done until the Dalek special. I think because once we have the Dalek special and then we have Series 13, then we could. I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses for Chibnall, but it seems like he's learning as he's going on, but slowly, I guess. And like, I would hope that Series 13 would be the definitive series that he learned from mistakes and he learns different things. But the biggest mistake I feel, and you can tell me I'm wrong, is them spending hardly any money for the writers. Getting these people that just have not done sci-fi. Now, I understand you could get somebody that's never done sci-fi and they could be the greatest sci-fi writer ever. I get that. But you're getting, this is Doctor Who, and you're getting, I think the reason why he had to write the Jejune episode.
Well, yeah, to counter what you've just said there, actually, and this example comes to mind. The Pirate Planet was written by Douglas Adams, arguably one of the best sci-fi writers of all time, and it was shit.
Right.
So I guess like Chibnall's genre is not sci-fi; it's drama, and to his credit, he's not done terribly. And all the other showrunners before him, Moffat and RTD, their final series were their best.
Right.
So series 4 was RTD's best, and series 10, in my opinion, was Moffat's best.
Right.
So it could be, yeah, that everything clicks into place for Chibnall in series 13 or whenever he decides to leave. And that's his best series.
But I still feel it's kind of lower than Russell T Davies and Moffat's because it's not. I mean, it's not. You know, I know you like Series 10 the best, but I sort of like, you know, David Tennant's song with Russell T Davies, and I also love Moffat's with Matt Smith. I thought that Moffat did Matt Smith better than Capaldi. Yeah, I thought that there was way too much. Yeah. Here's the thing with Capaldi, right? I think Matt Smith always said yes to Moffat, and when he brought in Capaldi, he thought he could control him the way he probably thought he could control Matt Smith, and Capaldi's like, "No, I'm off to pick out my outfit," it's like, "Wait, what?" And then, "No, Jenna Louise Coleman, I don't want her to go. Just rip up the script."
Moffat had no clear characterization of Capaldi's Doctor. Capaldi's Doctor changed every series dramatically
because they can never get a handle of.
I know that some people say that Moffat's best series, and I can kind of agree to a degree. I
definitely didn't think Series 10 was the best for Moffat because I did not. I hated the Truth Monk arc. He tried to do his own three-parter.
There's a split opinion between Moffat's era is difficult because Series 5 is considered his best by a lot of people. Series 10 is considered his best by a lot of other people. Right. And Series 8 is quite highly regarded.
Yeah, I like his time with...
Especially as the best of Capaldi's era. So I think Moffat had a lot more... standout seasons than RTD did. Chibnall, I think the issue with Chibnall is that he's getting there with the stakes. Like the threat to the Doctor is there, the villainy is there, but he needs to improve on the characterization.
See, he's trying to woo us, but he's going into territory that nobody wants him to go into.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to do that. Like, you're trying to shock us, but he doesn't understand. He's going to create a Last Jedi moment that's going to fucking wreck Doctor Who like it's never got wrecked before.
I think this series will be...
He will fucking break it. And I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to break it, right? But he thinks if he burns it down to the ground like ashes that he can rebuild it, but I don't think he can rebuild it. And I am not for that. Like, he might make it that, you know what, she had a whole incarnations of regenerations. People are going to fucking freak. And then the next season, they'll be like, no, that was a lie. It never really happened. They're just trying to screw with the Doctor. You know? But still, people are going to drop off and they're not going to watch that reveal that there is no, and it's going to get the show canceled. Like, and here's the situation with that, by the way. We talked about this a lot. Series 13 is paid for. The 16th is paid for. But the BBC are not budging with the commission date. You know, Russell T. Davies talked about this, and it was always when he was interviewed, and even Moffat, it was regardless of them at the time being the showrunner, the goal was to make Doctor Who's future secure. You remember this?
Yeah.
Where it will go on past them for years and years and years. And when Russell T. Davies left, he said, Doctor Who's future right now is secure. Moffat's hands. It will go on for another 10 years, 15 years, right? Moffat, before he left, the BBC secured Doctor Who's future for, you know, a certain amount of years. When Chibnall got the China deal, it extended it to 2023, right? But Chibnall already broke the China deal. And while they were dealing with that and the legal ramifications and that, he got him another deal with HBO Max. So now, to stop China from, you know, Lawsuit City, they are going to film Series 13 in China for an episode or two. There may even be an Asian companion. So they don't have to worry about the lawsuit with China now, because China's happy, right? HBO Max might be pissed off because the thing, every time Chibnall promises that every single year he's going to bring us a series. And that's what he's reneging on with the China deal. Because you have to, it was supposed to be, you got 5 series out and the 60th by 2023, right? He's not doing that. We had, you know that. We had series 11 in 2018. You had the special in 2019. And now we have series 12 in 2020. He's delaying a special purposely because he's not going to be ready. So the special is going to probably come out next New Year's Day, which is 2021. And because they're not filming past July, it takes 10 months. You may not have Doctor Who in 2021. You may have Series 13 in 2022. Now, we also know, Connor, correct me if I'm wrong, when they did the 50th, they robbed us of a series. Remember? We got robbed, right? So you're not going to get a series of 10 episodes plus a special plus the 60th in 2023. You are just not. You'll be lucky if you get a special and the 60th, right? But the way BBC is, they are not going to extend the date because they think if they extend the date to 2025 or 2027, this guy is going to keep delaying the series where it's just going to be a waste, right? So by all intents and purposes, the last Doctor Who story, unless this changes, is the 60th, right? Odds are we're getting Series 13 and we're getting the 60th, okay? But people are saying, well, if the series is paid for, why do they care about the ratings? They do care about the ratings because to get the BBC to extend the commission date, it has to show that them that the show is improving. And if the show is not improving, that's the cutoff. So if this series ends where it's the highest rated series ever, right? They will extend the commission date to 2025 or whatever, right? They're not doing that right now. So again, that's another factor because this guy's taking way too long. Regardless of, he does have the more power than Russell T. Davies or Moffat because he's brought them millions, right? But if he goes, the deal is done. You know that, right? The deal is canceled. It's connected to him. So it's beyond Doctor Who with this. Like, if he goes, the deal is done with both of them. So they can't really get rid of him. It's like they're stuck with him. And he's kind of egotistical a little bit too. So, like, he needs to get on the ball and the ratings is very important, because even though they're going to continue with another series, if the ratings are in the toilet, it will get it canceled eventually. Right or wrong?
I think it will get it cancelled eventually. Yeah, this whole China, like, I'm not certain about all this China. That I know for a certain fact that the HBO Max thing is nothing but like a distribution deal, so that won't affect anything.
But we're having a new deal soon. There's some third deal that's happening soon.
Oh, well, I don't know about this, but
we're trying to get information on it as we speak. But
the China deal, to be honest, it's never really been mentioned over since it was. I remember it being signed, I guess you could say, or
it was signed where 5 series from Chibnall, which would mean that series 15.
Was that not just
the HBO Max is 14, series 14. Like, it's not as extensive.
But it's only. Is it not only distribution rights, or are they actually funding?
No, China flat out gave them millions of dollars every series. Like, you have to understand that never has the BBC taken money from any country for Doctor Who, right?
Well, they technically have, because they've taken money from America.
No, but that's BBC America. They created BBC America. That's different.
Yeah, but it's still another country.
Right. No, but I'm saying, yeah, they established their whole thing in the United States, BBC America. I know that, but correction. Besides America, okay? So China giving them millions of dollars. If you honestly think that Doctor Who is being filmed with the money from your license, and they're throwing, it's a lot more expensive than it was with Russell T Davies and Moffat that they're spending right now.
But still,
they said they hired the most expensive sci-fi graphics designers and different things, like special effects.
Afford to run Doctor Who on the license fees that we pay. It's a lot of money.
They have so much, but they have so much more now. Money.
I'm not certain that China do.
Even Chibnall said it's paid for. Like, so it's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's paid for by us.
No, China thing. It's paid for already. It was paid for already.
I think that you're taking a distribution contract as being something that is funding the show. It's two completely different things.
No. Because here's the thing: China, because he didn't deliver, that was a thing. That's why they have to film in China, because they don't want to lose the deal. They are very concerned with losing the deal with China. That's a lot of money.
All China are paying for are all the BBC. I don't know which way it works around, whether the BBC pay China or the other way around, is for them to show the show in that country on probably a high-profile TV network.
But they're also giving them millions.
I'm not certain about this.
All right. Well, let's just get off the. We'll get up for now. We're going to get off the deal. But here's the thing: the commission date. It's like a doomsday clock now, because it's Moffat and Russell T Davies always got it extended. Now he can't get it extended.
The good news is the commission date for series 13, I've heard, is that filming starts this summer and will go until early next year. And the series...
Well, no, the commission date is... Listen, we're getting confused. What I'm saying is the commission date means that they cannot film anything in 2023. Like, meaning you're going to film stuff in 2022 for 2023 season. 2023 season.
That's not what a commission date is. And also, that would be a very, very serious and strange clause for someone to have in a contract like that.
See, the thing is that meaning that Doctor Who will have the 60th, but they're not going to be filming after the 60th.
Do I think that we're going to get a series in 2023? No. We're going to get a special. Probably one...
Yeah, the 60th.
Yeah, movie-length special or whatever.
You think Series 13 is going to be like in 2021?
Yeah, I've
When?
heard spring 2021.
There's no way. The earliest would be November. It's 10 months.
Yeah, if they start filming in summer, then they can get it out.
If they start, summer is July.
Yeah,
10 months
it's
from July.
It's technically, it can take between 8 and 10 months. So if you do it for
No. It's 10 months flat out for 10 episodes and a special. 10 months.
and
Exactly.
they do the VFX and they do the editing and while they're filming the series.
2 weeks of filming, 3 weeks of special effects. It's 5 weeks for each episode.
It's what I've heard and my belief is that they're trying to get it out for spring 2021.
There's no way. It's impossible. There's no way. It's impossible. Okay. First of all, you're saying summer, right? The start of summer is correct me if I'm wrong, June 21st, right?
I'm not saying it could be.
All right, so I don't think it's coming in June, right? First of all, Bradley Walsh is busy, and I believe that everything is going to remain the same. By the way,
yeah,
it's going to be like Broadchurch. The companions are the same. Jody's there. Everything's the same.
It's 3 years of the same thing, and then that's it. Like Jody leaves, Chibnall leaves, the companion.
No, Chibnall's not. Chibnall was signed for 5 series.
Chibnall is only doing 3 series.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Believe me, he's only doing 3 series.
Wow.
He will not do more.
He was signed for 5 series.
He's not. He's been
originally.
He's been signed for 5 years, I think.
No, 5 series originally.
No, actually, the original rumor was that he had a 5-year plan. Now that is.
So you're saying the 5-year plan means that if he can't get the fucking season out, that's a year that they lost him?
His first series was what?
2018.
So that takes you up to 2023. So yeah, he'll do 3 series in a special.
But it wasn't supposed to be that it was supposed to be by a series, not by that. Because if there's a delay, he still gets paid. Here's the thing.
Well, yeah, he's still technically working on the show when it's not on air. So yeah, he will get paid.
But the HBO Max deal,
there is no HBO.
Is up to the HBO Max deal is up to series 14.
But there's a HBO Max series to distribute the show. There's a difference between.
But here's the thing: regardless of the deal, there has to be a series 14.
Yeah, there will be.
No, it can't be. Because it's not commissioned beyond that.
But there's no guarantee that Series 14 is with Chibnall.
It can't continue unless the BBC extends the commission date. They're not extending it. If the ratings are in the toilet, they're going to cancel the show.
But it's just like any other TV network that they renew a series if it's doing well. So if Series 13 does well, they'll renew it.
No, they only renewed. Listen, here's the thing. The only reason this was renewed was because it was paid for already, right?
I don't believe.
I'm going to give you an example. Right?
I don't believe that any show. Just hear me out. I don't believe that any show commissions 5 years in advance because you have no guarantee that this show will be successful enough to sustain for 5 years.
Well, Walking Dead, they said it's going to go for another 10 years. So
yeah, but Walking Dead is like a phenomenon, and also like. How the hell can that go on for another 10 years or whatever?
It's not. All right, let me give an example. Picard.
Yes.
Right? The way we judged series before, you would have a series. Now, we'll use the Arrowverse as an example. I'm talking Arrow, Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, right? And we even include Black Lightning, right? When they do these crossovers are so high in ratings that it basically green lights them for an extended season, for another season next year.
Yeah.
So they passed it, right?
Well, for a similar example, a show that me and Philip watch very, very religiously, Killing Eve, that got renewed for a series 4 before series 3 has even been aired. So yeah, it's the same thing.
But here's another thing I'm going to explain. this means with Doctor Who. You have a show like Picard that nobody knows how they're going to enjoy it or not. There is nothing for us to see. They renewed it for a season 2, just like Star Trek Discovery, before it was even aired. So 2 years ahead of time, right? Now with The Walking Dead, let's go back to Walking Dead for a second, right? The ratings have dropped so severely that this new spinoff, World Beyond, whatever, right? It's called Walking Dead World Beyond. They backtrack now. So no longer is this a regular series, it's a limited series. Because technically right now the ratings are going in the toilet compared to Walking Dead standards. Okay? And it keeps dropping and it keeps dropping. So it's basically impossible for the show to go on 10 years unless there's a surge. They're hoping that the Rick Grimes movie will invigorate the franchise to get people to watch Walking Dead again and Fear the Walking Dead. Right now, fans are pissed with Fear the Walking Dead. That's dropping in the toilet. Okay? If the Rick Grimes movie does not, the show is in trouble. The whole entire Walking Dead franchise is in trouble right now. So with Doctor Who, it was paid for already, which means that the ratings for Series 12 could be the shittiest ratings in existence. You're still getting a Series 13 because it's paid for already with the 60th. But nothing is paid for beyond that, meaning like they don't have a thing that says nobody can come out and say Doctor Who is going to be around beyond the 60th, because right now the ratings are not there. But the ratings will catch up to like the series that is paid for, and they will cancel Doctor Who if it drops. You don't think so? It's going to get canceled if it keeps dropping.
I think they'd leave it out to pasture where they give it an extra year or two to see what happens, and then they cancel it.
They did. Series 13 and the 60th. That's your extra year or two. That's what I'm talking about. That's your extra year or two.
I don't think at the moment the ratings are bad enough to cancel it, though.
Okay.
Because we're still getting 7 million viewers.
Wait till the timeline. Wait till he does the Timeless Child thing. Then you'll see.
Oh, well, yeah.
You'll see how it drops.
By a week's time, it will be Series 13, and then they'll get an extra year after that, so that it could go to Series 14.
Now, what's your opinion of this special?
Which one?
The end of Series 12 special.
The
Dalek invasion. Yeah.
I have a feeling, based on absolutely nothing at all, I have a feeling that that's going to be an Easter special.
So it's not going to be released on New Year's 2021.
I don't think it'll be released on New Year's. I think it'll be earlier than that. I think it'll be an Easter special.
Really?
Like how Planet of the Dead was.
Okay.
I could be wrong. It could be New
Year's. Technically, and this is why I think everybody should be alarmed, technically the Dalek special is scheduled 10 months after Series 12.
So you're saying that this could be the first episode of the new of Series?
No, it's not. I'm saying that they delayed the special purposely because you're technically going to go like 18 months without Doctor Who because Chibnall's behind. So they put the special I'm talking 10 months after March 1st. Because they know that Series 13 won't be ready. So you're waiting technically 10 months for Doctor Who, and people are not thinking this was already made already. So after that, you may wait, if not 10 months, 8 months, or whatever. So it's technically you're waiting 18 months for Doctor Who. You understand? Like, just forget that the special was made already and finished October 31st. It's connected to Series 12. It is the special for Series 12. Just like Resolution was connected to be the new season finale, right? Because nobody liked Ranskor Avkolos, right? That was terrible. So they made it that the New Year's Day special was the finale for Series 11, right? This will be, I guess, technically the end of Series 12, this special. Although, we may have a finale, it was technically the end of Series 12. But you're not getting Series 13 right after the special. That's what I'm telling you. So I don't think anybody's aware of this. And you know how they are with just 10 months without Doctor Who. If they actually picture it, it may be, it's a ridiculous amount of time, Connor, don't you think?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was a mistake to delay the special. They've never had that where they sat on a special for this long length of time, where it's just sitting there completed, waiting to air.
Oh yeah,
Now,
what makes me think that this is an Easter special and not a New Year?
That's why you don't think that they're going to wait any longer. You think
I don't think that they'll actually wait for this.
Yeah. Like I said, Russell T. Davis mentioned the commission date, and the goal with Russell T. Davis was to sanctify and make sure that Doctor Who's future would continue beyond him for a good 10, 15 years. And then when Moffat was there, the goal was, again, to make sure that Doctor Who would continue well beyond him. So they did what they had to do, but the problem, I think, is that Moffat chose the wrong successor. I am not confident in Chris Chibnall at all. He is not the person that is going to get Doctor Who to continue. He's going to get Doctor Who to, he's going to crush it in a bad way, and he's going to try to rebuild it, and no one's going to watch it because he ruined it already. And what you would have to have is you would have to have it go to sleep for 5 years or more. Someone would have to come in, and they would have to somehow undo what he did without wrecking the history. And it's going to be really hard to do. And I know that if it goes away, it's going to come back. But this is where Chibnall steps in now, because this deal that he's trying to strike is a last-ditch effort to get the show to continue beyond 2023. And because he doesn't want to be the one that kills Doctor Who, even if it gets to be continued a year or two after him.
Yeah.
You don't care. It's a new guy's fault. The new guy deal with it. So this may be a type of movie crossover thing that he might be working with, where the series leads right into a movie, and then back to the series. Like it'll be like sort of like Star Trek evolving into movies, but then going back into series on TV. I mean, they're doing this with Rick Grimes right now. So the Rick Grimes movie will be in the movie theaters. And then supposedly after the 3 movies, they might integrate him in the last season of Walking Dead or whatever. So this deal that he's working with to try to get something going on is the last-ditch effort. This will be the 3rd deal. And supposedly that will extend the commission date to like 2026, which I don't know if that's going to be successful. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull this one off. Bad enough, I mean, we'll see. He's got to get the episodes to get great ratings. And for me, I don't understand how it takes weeks after Spyfall for us to get an actual Spyfall ratings number. Like, why? First it was in the toilet. Now it's better. Like, why is that the case all of a sudden?
Why did it take 7 days? Do you mean?
Why did it take beyond 7 days? Like, where it's like, we have the figures. Now the figures are way higher.
Because that's 7 days catch up. So
So in other words, you can't really talk about the ratings until a week after.
Yeah, until a week after. Yeah.
So whatever this thing is preliminary.
Oh, it's kind of overnights is never really the real reflection of how.
So what's the actual ratings now for Spyfall?
Part 1 is 6.9 million, nearly 7 million.
Okay.
And I think part 2 is
like 6.2.
Yeah, it's just over 6 million, I think, something.
And we can't really count Orphan 55 until a week.
Yeah, until
Monday.
Part 2 is 6.07. So yeah, it's about
Now compared to Capaldi, how is that?
a lot better.
But not
Capaldi,
a lot better?
Yeah, Capaldi's was in like the 4 millions even after a week.
No, but not the master one. With Missy. That was 8.4, wasn't it? Wasn't that high?
World Enough in Time and The Doctor Falls each was 5 and 5.3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Twice Upon a Time?
Twice Upon a Time was 7.9.
Okay. All right.
Series 9, the highest rated episode of Series 9 of the regular series was
which is familiar and
The Girl Who Died, which was because what's the face? Maisie Williams was in it, yeah.
What was the ratings in that?
That was 6.56.
Okay.
Series 8, the highest rated episode, yeah, by far, was
Death in Heaven?
Deep Breath, which was 9.1.
Okay.
So yeah, it's actually doing a lot better than some of Capaldi's highest rated episodes.
But they're still not extending the commission date. There's no confidence yet.
I don't think that they will extend that far.
I honestly think they're not extending it because he's just taking too fucking long. And just to extend it, he'll be like, I want to take a year off or some shit.
I don't think it's anything to do with that. There's no appetite for Doctor Who anymore.
Well, here it is. They started this marketing campaign with Hot Topic. Did you see the friggin' shirts they have?
Yeah, I don't like them.
The second shirt is her making instructions how to land a plane. Who the fuck wants to wear that? Why don't you have a shirt of Sasha Dhawan's master? Like, I would just fire the fucking marketing person for Doctor Who because they're doing a fucking shitty ass job.
TV these days, in my opinion, works this way. You can have a show like Doctor Who. If it doesn't work out, they'll just cancel it, and then they'll come back with a different show that's higher budget on a streaming service and that's got a Hollywood producer attached to it.
Well, like, what's going on with Dracula now? Dracula is done?
Dracula apparently is getting a second series.
Because of the Netflix thing he got.
Yeah.
Deal. Yeah. Which that basically helped to fund the next season.
Yeah, Netflix did help, yeah, to fund that.
I mean, it didn't, I don't think they paid for the first season, but by them airing the second one, that helped.
From what I gathered, though, episode 3 of Dracula was fucking terrible.
Yeah, you saw the whole thing? I didn't see any of it.
I didn't see any of it, but I've heard that it was fucking terrible. The last episode.
The last episode? Those were only 3 episodes?
Yeah, the episode 3, which was technically the series finale, was awful.
Oh,
what he did with the story was absolutely terrible.
Wow.
And I've heard that from not just one person, 2 people, 3 people. I've heard that from a lot of people.
But yet it gets the second season.
Yeah, it gets the second season.
So it's like Sherlock, 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're going to be filming that now. Dracula.
I'm not sure when they're going to be filming that.
And when are they? Because I heard that somehow they're going to get another Sherlock season out there. When is that happening?
I don't think Sherlock will come back.
You don't think so?
No, I think Sherlock's done. Randy says that apparently I'd wear the shirt. No, I wouldn't, because
I think like 2022, 2023, I think Sherlock's coming back.
No, Sherlock will not come. Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman are way too busy.
All right, Martin Freeman's doing Black Panther 2.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange is doing Doctor Strange 2, and he's going to be doing appearances in some movies, right?
Yeah, and he's also, is he not doing like some appearances in some of the Disney Plus stuff as well?
He's doing stuff. But I somehow believe that if we don't get 3 episodes, we will get a Sherlock special somehow in a couple of years.
I think the way that Sherlock ended fine. That was
It did, but right, they just go on, they continue.
I just don't see how it can come back.
Right.
Cumberbatch himself is just too high in demand.
Yeah. And also Moffat is going to be working on, the Time Traveler's Wife, which he flat out admits he took from that for River Song.
And he's got a new crime drama, which is not being well talked about at the moment because it's not even being written yet. He's got a new crime drama coming out for the BBC.
Yeah, but I think that was a goal of him to confuse the fact that he took from Time Traveler's Wife, that now he's going to be working on Time Traveler's Wife series. And I'm telling you right now, I have a funny feeling that he's going to have Alex Kingston in it as like a cop or something or whatever that helps the time travel. Like, I'm telling you right now, I bet you she's going to be in it. Alex Kingston, I'm pretty sure. And that's going to be on HBO.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So. And he's still working on Jekyll somehow for the States.
That's been in development since.
For a long time. But Chris Evans is supposed to be, Captain America. He's supposed to be in it.
Considering that Chris Evans is making...
He's busy.
A career out of stuff like Knives Out now and stuff. I don't think that he'll ever do that.
You never know.
Because now Knives Out is being made into a franchise. So is he going to appear? Is he going to appear every so often in them as well?
I don't know.
Who knows? It's kind of, it's one of them things, I think.
I mean, so you think Doctor Who? Do you think it's safe right now?
I think it's safe enough. It could be safe.
Till when? To the 60th.
Yeah.
But not beyond that.
I don't know. It'll all depend, really.
It's safe to the 60th, as far as my opinion is, and then we're done unless they change things. So, all right. So, what do you think of the stream? You like this?
I do like this. Yeah, actually,
StreamYard. I think it's pretty awesome.
So you can actually take me out of the stream, can't you? But you can keep me in the room.
I could technically keep going and take you out. I could put people in. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the fact that you can only have 6 people in here.
Right.
So meaning 5 more with me. But I'm not one that does hours streams. I mean, we do a cast, right? It's 30 minutes, or it's 40 minutes, or it's an hour. When we had Google Hangout, it would be an hour, right? Or a little more. But I wouldn't sit here for 4 hours, 5 hours. And I don't think anybody would really want to sit here 4 or 5 hours watching us anyway. You need a break after a while, I need a break. So we're going to end this right now. Thank you very much, Connor. We're going to be utilizing StreamYard in the future heavily. Not all the time, but most of the time. So hope you guys enjoyed this big Doctor Who Whovians cast, and we'll be back tomorrow. Take care. Bye for now.